1,
2,
3,
4,
5.
6.
Okay, today I'm going to be demonstrating how to properly clean and maintain a fishing reel. Obviously, if we don't take care of our fishing equipment, if we don't take care of it properly, it's going to fail on us in the field. The reason that we try to pay such close attention to this is because salt water and corrosion can lead to malfunctions. They can also lead to your equipment failing on you when you need it to work. This is actually a Shimano type fishing reel. It's got 2 outer housing plate screws, which you're actually going to utilize a flathead screwdriver to remove first. Usually they're pretty loose. And what you can do is you can actually remove this firstly. You loosen it up on the outside, and the inner workings become visible. There's actually a spinning part on the inside. That's where the actual line goes. It's actually pretty simple. There's only really 3 pieces to it, but if it gets corroded, if it gets dirty, if any kind of dirt gets on the inside of it, especially if it sits up for a while, it can cause a lot of problems and it won't work correctly. There's only really 3 things that you need to do this. A flathead screwdriver to remove the 2 screws, actually just to loosen them up, lubricating oil, and the actual reel itself, and then just a towel, anything that you could use that you don't want to necessarily mind getting dirty, because the oil can be kind of greasy, and it's something that you might want to not, be able to get dirty. So really, the first thing to do is to assess what the reel looks like on the inside. This particular part where the crank is actually where all the gears are housed. It's like a watch basically. What you really want to do is just kind of lightly spray on the inside and on the outside, because this is where your main parts are, and these are the really important parts that keep everything working. The spool is important as well, because this is actually where the line is actually kept. This is where it spins. And then you've got the actual housing itself. And it's good to just kind of spray along the insides and along where all the big moving parts are, because it keeps everything from rusting and it keeps it all put together and cranking correctly like it's supposed to. Really, there's not much to it. As you can see, I sprayed on the inside here, and I also sprayed on the big moving parts. That's really basically it. It's good to just kind of wipe it down just to make sure it's not dripping. Go ahead and kind of put everything back together. As far as the actual spool itself, it goes back together just like it came apart. You fit the outer crank back on and tighten it back down. The good thing about this is, once it's done, you can kind of do it with your finger. You don't necessarily need a screwdriver to do it, which is good and helpful. And then just kind of give a turn. You can see everything's working back correctly, everything's put back together. And that's basically it. It's ready to be put back on the reel now, or on the rod necessarily. And that's pretty much it. Again, it's good to keep these things in working order, because if they're not functioning correctly, they're going to fall apart and they're not going to work when you need them to work. Again, that's basically it. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, where can I buy the cleaner?
This cleaner is actually Remington Rim Oil. It's used for guns primarily, but it does work on anything else. It's good for lubricating anything with moving parts. So you can buy it at Academy. You can buy it at mostly any sporting goods store.
How much does the cleaner cost?
Usually it's around $3 to $4 per can. You don't need much. It sprays really liberally if you take care of it. If you don't use a whole lot, it usually lasts for a pretty good amount of time.
What else can you use besides rim oil?
You can use any kind of lubricating oil. You can use Hops gun cleaning oil. You can use, they actually make a different brand of this. It's a house brand from Academy that works pretty well. Anything that's usually aerosol based is good. Comes with a little straw, and you can kind of use it for the small moving parts. And I think that pretty much covers it. Thank you, everybody.